Power 95, where music lives. The views expressed in the following program aren't necessarily those of Power 95. Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited at Beacon Insurance.
New customers, for a limited time and in celebration of our 50 years of independence, you can get a $50 gas voucher free with your policy when you sign up for any of Beacon's private comprehensive car policies. Premium financing is available so that your premium can be spread over 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. Other benefits may apply depending on the policy selected. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote and free gas today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they are prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
And good morning again, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It is Monday, March 11th. I hope everyone had themselves a good weekend. I'm not in the best of moods, and y'all know when things like this happen. I'm literally breathing fire, right? But I've had to do a little woosah moment and breathe, take it easy, breathe kind of moment, because like I said, a lot is happening on the rock for the past couple weeks. It seems as though every week there's something, and not something that is good or, we can hip hooray and be happy about. The weeks prior to that, we were in independence mode and coming together, and the energy and the vibe was just right. And we're here thinking that the rest of the year, hope we keep that same energy, but it's apparent that's not gonna happen, right? Anyways, good morning, everybody. Morning, Nikisha. Good morning, Shantae. Morning, Marianne. Good morning, Lou. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lisa. Morning, Rita. Maureen. Melvin Brown. Good morning. Hope my sister-in-law enjoyed her birthday. Good morning, Akeem. Good morning, Libon. Good morning, CJ. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning. Morning, Junies. Junies, congratulations to you and your son, the family. I did not know that was your son. Posted it, and Bug said that was your son. He is, you've got quite a little superstar in your hand. So I hope you guys will harness that talent and, let him run with it, literally run with it. So congratulations to you and your family, your son. Give him a tight hug for me. Morning, Shauna. Morning. So we're back, same time. Thank you, Lord. I really couldn't stand this. It's sometimes works in your favor, but other times, Mr. Ray, good morning and welcome. Come in, sit down, don't touch anything, and hush. Morning, Alika. Good morning, Shadi. Good morning, Nissy. Good morning, Jackie. Shelly. Morning, Della. Hope you're coming along well. Morning, Marlene. Morning, Christelle. Anybody else that's not here, the roll call is over. It's 5 past. You're going to have to just sit and hush. Morning, everybody. Morning to those of you on YouTube viewing the live stream. And good morning to those of you listening via radio. And of course, if you're listening to us online, welcome to the show. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Yes, Anya. So you relate too. Anyways, let's jump right into it. When we plan to bring back hanging? That's my question. Seriously, when do we plan to bring back the hangman's noose? When? Like, how much more? I don't even want to hear about Amnesty International and yada yada yada. To me, once you're convicted, you've done the crime, whatever the consequences are, you ought to deal with it. But then again, I'm sort of torn because to me, when you do something as gruesome as this and you're hanged, to me it's easy. It's an easy way out. You're dead, you're gone, that's it. But like if you're made to live with your conscience as to what you did and be locked up like an animal for the rest of your life, I think that's a greater punishment because death is instantaneous. You don't get to relive and seeing that person whose life you took. It's you're done, you're gone. But having to live with that daily, knowing that you're responsible for taking somebody's life, that is also a punishment. Salazar Hussein has signed all these treaties, international human rights treaties and conventions. I am so lost for word. And sometimes I'm like, it sucks and you're sad that you don't have children, but then you're like, if I did and I were in that position, what would happen? Like, how would you feel? And as a parent, whether you're a father, you're a mother, if you're not feeling something upon hearing that news, well, I don't know. But anyways, let me backtrack for those of you just joining us and may have missed, the story of what unfolded. Of course, we heard, but I didn't post anything about it or say much. I'm like, okay, like I said, I'm in my quiet era, so I'm doing a lot of observing. I'm like, let me listen, let me see what the police report says first before I jump in, because sometimes things like that we quick, the emotions take over and we start putting people and this and that out there and not having all the information first. And I was talking to my friend Lou last evening, right? And he was like, are you going to discuss this? And I'm like, no, I can't, because there's a lot making the rounds on social media, but I'm waiting for the official police report. Because apparently the mother had a Facebook post stating that to stop the rumors and yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, I don't want to join the rumors. I mean, as much as I was tempted to like, okay, chill, wait for it. And we didn't have long to wait because Sheena not getting out, they get out and find love again. There's no getting out. It's life. Life plus. Like if you guys have been following, I'm not sure how many of you followed the Nature Boy story. Nature Boy, the guy with the cult, he was sentenced to life in prison plus, was it 10 or 20 more years, to ensure that he never gets out without parole. So being in prison doesn't mean you're going to get out. It could be life without the possibility of parole, plus to ensure that you die behind bars. He's in the US Selvon. I'll send you the links, but something I've been following. I don't want to get sidetracked, so let me come back to my point. So the story came out this morning. The official report came out this morning from the police, and I really don't want to do this morning, I swear. Anyways, so this morning the official police report came out that Carriacou resident charged with non-capital murder, John Kendall Alexis, only 30 years old, self-employed, of Lauriston, Carriacou, was charged with the offense of non-capital murder by intentionally causing the death of Esther Patterson. Don't forget her name. Remember her name. Esther Patterson, 14 years, student of Lauriston, Carriacou, by unlawful harm. The offense is alleged to have been committed on Friday, 8th March at Lauriston, Carriacou. And Mr. Alexis is expected to make his first court appearance later this week. And when I heard the news, immediately my mind went back to Ariel Bowler's case. My mind immediately went back to Ariel Bowler's case. Died, murdered. And when I tell y'all that there's a lot of laws on the books, there's a law for pelting a stone, there's a lot of laws for almost everything, even for breathing, there's a law. But the problem is implementation. They're not implemented. And even though a judge or whoever it is has the authority to give the stiffest penalties, sometimes you wonder, like, why? Sometimes you feel like things that are worthy of getting stiff penalties is like a slap on your wrist, don't do it again. And then you'll hear men being locked up for years for drugs and, marijuana and, but when it comes to sexual offenses, on this rock, for some reason, we don't seem to think it's a big deal. And unless we start making examples of people, it's going to continue. And imagine, Friday was International Women's Day. She's a young lady who would soon, can't even say who would, but International Women's Day, when we're celebrating women and their strength and, all that stuff. Here we are speaking about the death of a 14-year-old. And sometimes I come here and I speak and y'all be, oh, you don't have this, you don't have that. And this is something we hear about all too often. And I've been saying this from time memorial, like from since King Hatchet was a hammer. That yes, while you wish to be in a relationship and you long for love and all of that, when you have children, and it doesn't even matter the sex, male as well as female, you have to be very, very careful who you bring or who you allow your children to be around. Very, very careful who you allow. Now, there are all sorts of speculations. There are the reports. Let me just dip into the Grenada Informer story, where it says Alexis, said to be in his 30s, was married and had 3 children with the teenager's mother. He's from mainland Grenada with reports of also having ties to Trinidad and Tobago. There are reports that he decoyed officers, making them believe that he discovered the child's body on the compound of the Thy Kingdom Come Sanctuary in Brunswick. From the minute I said that, I saw that, I'm like, BS. I'm like, you're right. Because the story, like, he was passing and saw Esther sitting against the building and jumped some wall to get to her and then took her to the hospital. From the moment I heard that, I'm like, dude, are you for real? I'm like, there's no way you thought that's what you said made sense. Like, you're just passing and you saw her there. Anyways, according to the Grenada Informer, according to a source, that area may have had nothing to do with the incident. And Sunday's postmortem revealed several fractured bones, including her neck, which indicated that the secondary school child was in a struggle to save her life. You're 30-something years old. This is a 14-year-old. And she was struggling with you for her dear life. How did you think you was going to get away with that is beyond me. But you have a child struggling with you for her life, fighting for a chance at life, and nothing stopped to say, you know what, stop. Because what you've done now, compared to what you probably was running away from, is worse. 10 times worse. So the Grenada informer says that one close relative spoke of fear that he may have been having, and don't quote me here, reading from the Grenada informer, says one close relative spoke of fear that he may have been having, having intercourse, sexual intercourse with the minor. And reports are that the child was for a long period uncomfortable with the demeanor of her stepfather. So last night, a vigil attended by several persons was held for Esther, and according to the informer, his vehicle is currently under police protection as a key piece of evidence in the ongoing investigation. So, over the weekend, I saw a couple posts made by the mother talking about spreading rumors and yada, yada, yada. And then someone apparently, was making reference to the mother on social media, and the mother got wind of it and sent the person a message saying, the fact that you post this about me with no clue of what I am saying in the message, please be careful. Esther has a real father who died. She is the strength of a real dad, the fruit of my womb. I wasn't defending nobody. There were many things said from start that wasn't true. They said my children was kidnapped and so many things. That was the grounds. Take that down. Take down that post or I'll find you or charge you. Now, miss, you ain't finding and charging nobody because I don't want to get upset, I swear. Your child just died at the hands of a man you with, a stepfather. And instead of your energy being one of mourning and in distress and wanting to rip that man apart with your bare hands, camping out in front of the police station for a glimpse of him, to tearing apart limb by limb, you're on social media responding to posts and making posts. Tell me how and where and how that my child was killed by a man I'm supposedly with, and I have the time and the energy and the testicular fortitude to be on social media messaging people and making posts talking about whether rumors, like on that ground alone, you should be arrested. And I make no apology for saying that. Because women, our men will be out there and we'll get a sniff and our intuition will go into high gear, knowing something is happening. And we have not seen anything. We don't have even an ounce of evidence. But that sense of intuition that we feel when we know something is going on. You're saying to me, your daughter plus your other children plus this man is in your home and you got no wind, no nothing, no feel that your child was uncomfortable. But you have speed to be on social media, to be telling people about take what down posts or you'll find them and do what. How come you didn't find what your man was doing to deal with him, but you want to find us to deal with us? What is wrong with y'all? Your child at 14 years old is no more. She's gone, not by natural causes. And according to the story, she struggled. According to the post-mortem, several fractured bones, including her neck, which indicated that she was in a struggle to save her life. And me as a mother, this isn't even my child. And the way that I am feeling for somebody that I don't even know, don't know none of y'all. And I'm sitting there thinking, as a mother, as a woman, imagine your child, the one that you claimed was in your womb that you gave birth to, struggling for her life at the hands of Mr. John Alexis. Remember his name as well. And you're out here on social media, running up and down, making posts and messaging people. You should be right alongside him, waiting on the boat to come down or whatever they put y'all on. When something like this happened, you should be sitting right alongside him. Because even if you were to make a post, it would be screaming bloody murder for his head to be rolling somewhere, begging the police to please let you and your family have him with his hands handcuffed and tied to a pole in the market somewhere, and just let him loose for your family to do whatever they choose to do. That is what your post should be about. Instead, you're here talking about rumors and talking about take posts down. We ain't taking down nothing. That child was under your watch, so you're equally responsible. That is your responsibility as a mother to make sure your children are protected. But some of y'all is like, and she's not the only one. There's a lot of you who's probably even listening now or typing now that are in situations where you have stepfather, y'all met last week, and he's already in the house amongst your children. I keep saying we are not living in normal times. People are sex craved. It's like sex is going out of style and they do anything to get it. Like the thirst for sex overrides everything else. And like I always say, we seem to have a sex monster roaming. And time again, I come here and I speak about Grenada standing tall as one of the countries #1 in the world for sexual offenses. And we take this lightly year after year. We have men who would rape, do all sorts of things to children. They go up to her or his Majesty's prison. They're out. They're in the same community with the same child who has to relive what happened to her or to him. They're amongst us like nothing. And for years, it's like it makes no... And you know, as much as we love to hate the big America, that is one thing I love about them. When it comes to women and when it comes to children, even dogs, even animals are protected. And once convicted of a sex offense, you branded. You cannot go around schools. You cannot be around children. You're a sex offender for life, no matter how much you are rehabilitated, no matter how many counseling or therapy you did, you are a sex offender for life. And all one has to do is look you up. There are men who commit sexual offenses, and in tutus, they're out amongst children, even finding other women and in relationship with other women. And it's like nothing. It's like absolutely nothing. And I'm wondering how many more before we get to a point of taking these things seriously. Like how many more? Like hold on, let me see, read this. I can't even read your message because it's confidential, but pray, just pray. You're going to need the strength. So the same way we talk about deadbeat fathers, we have a lot of deadbeat mothers. Y'all are present. Y'all are there. But it's like you're just there because you're there. Y'all aren't that much difference except that you're there. And let me just share a story that someone sent with me. this morning. And guys, you can chime in if you wish to, because this person sent me this a while ago and says, the incident with Esther keeps reminding me of a guy I was with for almost 2 decades. He violated my daughter with a picture. A picture. I left him. And he still told me we could have fixed our relationship because it was something we could have worked out. It saddened me because he had no remorse for his actions. I've been to counseling because I've loved him and still can't believe what he has done. It mentally had me thinking, what if she was a child that did not like to speak? And I said to her, you know what? You did the right thing. As a mother, that is your number one responsibility, to protect your child or children. And I wish other mothers did the same. She could have dismissed it. And it was only a picture that he sent the child. Nothing happened yet, but it was a picture. And to be with somebody for 2 decades, for that long period of time, and leave because that person sent your child, your daughter, a picture, is highly, highly commendable. And I wish other women would do that. And whether you have to suck salt after, whether you have to eat 1 meal a day or no meal at all to protect your child because said man probably is the breadwinner or helping or doing whatever, even if you don't mind sucking salt and mango every day, but at least your children are safe. So at 30 years old, and I need to hear the men. It's like, y'all just go into hibernation when we start talking about certain things. And y'all don't come out and loudly protest against these things and call out your fellow men. What it's to do with women, y'all drag us go, drag us come. Join us in dragging your fellow men the same way and loudly speaking up against it. At 30 years old, you took the life of a 14-year-old because the mother wasn't enough for you. Like, oh, you have sex energy, so on sex speed. Well, how come that amount, that energy y'all had, if y'all put it into something else, you'll do so much more? Y'all just thirsty, like rank, like sex going out of style. And it's not like you aren't getting, you're in a relationship. So how are they going to call it out, and half of them in it also? Sometimes not in deed, but in thoughts. You're right. Because you hear the story every day of some of them. They don't know the man's side. You don't need to know the man's side. Some of them say we don't know the man's side. You still want to, I don't even care about his side again. All I wanted was to hear the official police report saying that somebody was arrested for it before I opened my mouth. I'm not interested in anything he has to say. Renee, yes, you have. You're one of the few that I see. Akeem is another one that I see speaking on those things as well. Girls and boys. Yes, Chanel, I did make that point earlier on. It's not just girls. It's both. They don't care what they stick their business in. Once it makes them feel good, they couldn't care less. So you took a life to do what? The same thing you're trying to avoid or prevent her from speaking on, it's now out, plus the fact you took her life. But we're out here, as usual, like it's not a big deal. When are we going to take sexual offenses seriously? And I know the guys at the ministry, they're trying their best, but they can only work with what they have and what the law allows them to work with. They can't do it. They can't take the law into their own hands and do what they want. I know they work hard with the limited resources they have at social services. And they try. They really try their best. But we need more to be done. And I'm longing and praying for the day when women will understand their children, their safety is more important than having a man in your house, in your bed. You don't need to shack up, so you don't need to just bring any and anybody. Like y'all start seeing today and tomorrow they're around your children already. Playing best daddy. I mean, you could never get to know a person fully because people mask really well. And you'll think, okay, he's a stand-up guy, he's a good dude and good stepfather material and probably pretending and playing the role for a long time. And then some of them come in your... Listen, there's a lot of men that come in all your place not to look at all you know. They come to look at your children. I don't mean to sound harsh, but that's the reality. A lot of them men that you are bringing your homes, once they come the first time and they see your daughter nice and young and, you know, innocent and fresh, and they're already eyeing her. They're already eyeing her. A lot of them, they'll come in your home for you. They'll come for your children. And then they threaten them. They're going to do this and they're going to do that. But this is where you as a parent, even though you choose to bring them in, you say to your daughters and your sons, listen. And you say it in the presence of said man. But you're so busy to protect man. I've lost count of the amount of stories I've heard of children, young girls telling their mothers, so and so is touching me. And the mothers turn against their own flesh and blood and accusing them of lying. You want me man and you're playing big old man. Go and find man for yourself. Instead of saying, you know what, let me investigate this. Let me set up a scene. Let me leave them alone and tell my daughter when he makes a move on me, act as though you're giving consent and see what happens. But you are wrong, so nothing is going to happen. Let me set up a camera somewhere and let me see for sure. Y'all do nothing. Some of you, stop lying on the man. The man is a good man. Oh, the man does bring your father ever minding you and the man that taking care of you. Why you want to send the man in jail? There's a lot of wicked so-called mothers that put men before their children. Anybody that you bring in your home, make sure that your children know that the slightest move they make, they should be able to tell you. So Mr. Alexis is in the home. That's not his daughter. So as far as Mr. Alexis is concerned, that's not my flesh and blood. So I could cut down that. I can do whatever I want. And said child should be comfortable enough to come and say, hey, this is what's going on. And this man is touching me inappropriately or saying things to me that I'm not comfortable with. And then you take it upon yourself to see and for yourself and find out what's going on. But you hear prancing and gallivanting up and down on Mark Zuckerberg's platform, threatening people and talking about take down. We can take down nothing. And there's also a lot of you who are fully aware that your grown friends are sleeping with underage girls and you say nothing. You're just as bad. So don't think because you're not doing it, you're exempt. There's a lot of you who know your partner and your friend and your horse and your boy is engaging in sexual intercourse with underage girls. And you all say nothing either. It's not your business. It's not your child. And wouldn't pull up said friends, said brethren. All this big woman you have out here. Like, what is your fascination with little girls? What does it do for you? Like, what does it do for y'all? A lot of you all know and are fully aware that some of your friends, your brethren, your brother are engaging in sexual activities with underage girls. And don't come and tell me about 16 nothing. At 16, you could barely even bathe yourself good. Send them home. Y'all even in the inboxes. I saw a mother the other day. Granted, I may not have agreed with how she came about, but looking back at it, she was right. And I probably should have brought her on the show. Where her daughter posted a picture and homeboy jumped into her inbox. Y'all hate to see a little something jump into her inbox. And the mother caught sight of it and ringsed him on social media. Well, he apologized because he claimed he didn't know she was underage, whatever the case might be. And there were folks saying based on how she's dressed. And I don't care how somebody is dressed. Unless she does not say to you, I am 21 years old or older. Ask, what is your age? Someone dressed as we live in a hot climate. Everybody becomes a prude overnight. You're afraid to see skin, some boobs, some legs, or you should dress with your collar up to prove that you're a child. But they're going after them regardless. How many of them, even though they see them in the uniform with their ties, choking them, still after them? So boobs showing, dress appropriately, not dressed appropriately is not changing anything. How many schoolgirls you hear of in relationships with big men? So dressed appropriately or not, know your place. And that is the problem. A lot of y'all do not know your places. And it's not even because the way I see some of y'all be in my inbox, I could just imagine for younger girls who are easily influenced. The only thing I don't do is, and I probably might have to start doing it too, like reading y'all rights out. Hello, hi, next minute picture sent. Looking at your all dusty, ashy private part. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody asked you to see that. Y'all have no sense of respect, no sense of nothing. 2 seconds in your inbox, hi. You turn around, picture sent. If only I didn't fear being blocked or my page taken away, I would post, and some of it is not even attractive. It's not even nothing to look at. It's like, ew. I would post it with the whole name, your message, and everything in it. Several of you, you know who you are. Hi. And then here comes a picture of your private part. So imagine if we grown women are experiencing that. Imagine what younger women have to go through and don't know how to tell you all to go back to your mother. Imagine what they are going through. And then there's a promise of, I'm going to buy you a phone. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. So of course they're easily influenced. And when you don't have that strong upbringing where you're told not to accept anything or do not speak to, a lot of them being in impoverished situations, the thought of a new iPhone 15, they're going to gravitate towards it. Before you post a little picture in your story, you're looking, you're feeling yourself in your inbox. You don't have, we did Pastor King and all the pastors and what, we need to have a day to pray out some of the sex demons we seem to have on this rock. Even dogs know time and place. Dogs have a season. You don't just see dog up and down. When the female is in heat, they engage. When they're not, they keep to themselves. They even want to see you. Even animals know. But men who are supposed to be superior in thinking and being, y'all act as though you are ruled by your private part. that you lose all control, that it takes over completely. So you wouldn't mind sleeping with a 14-year-old, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like the big head does not say, you know what? No, it's not well. You have to have some level of sickness to you to even watch. And this isn't me saying whatever. We all know of incidences where 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds were sexually abused by grown men, not even their peers, not like little children you're playing and say, men, grown, big men. Right? And even a dog don't mate with a puppy. Even the dogs understand. You ever see a dog trying to mount a little puppy? A little female puppy? No. They wait for the big one until she's in heat and ready. So not just because you want a man or you need a man or you need help means you sacrifice your daughters and your sons. It is your responsibility to protect your children with your life, if it ever comes to that. With your life. It is your responsibility to protect your child or children. If you're not in a position to, then don't be making children. It's easy as that. Pepsi, morning. It is your responsibility to protect your children, your daughters, your sons with your life. Teach your children to speak, to come to you, mommy, daddy, cousin this, uncle that touched me, my brother, but whoever. Let them be comfortable enough to speak knowing there is a safe place and they will not be blamed or accused of wanting your man or lying on the man because you don't like him and you're playing big woman too much in a place. And he's the one paying the bill. Stop lying on the man. A lot of you do that. A lot of you do that. We have 3 days of sports coming up. And while you would think some are going to watch them and cheer them on for their athletic prowess, a lot of them, they're looking to see how they can convince them to sleep with them. This is the perfect opportunity to make sure you speak to your sons and your daughters if they'll be attending those games as well, to do the right thing. To not be easily influenced or swayed or persuaded to do anything or go anywhere with anybody. And I pray that sooner rather than later, we will get serious about sexual offenses. Every year, if you were to listen to the assizes and how many cases are down, sexual offenses top the list. Incest, rape, anything surrounding sex tops the list. Selvan, you should be able to bear me out on that one. Every time, sexual offenses are at the top of the list. If there are 100 cases, about 80% is sexual offenses. And if we don't see something is wrong with that from judge, lawyer, police, teacher, doctor, nurse come down, if we don't see something is wrong with that, a country as small as ours, you can go around Grenada in an hour if you're driving fast. Sexual offenses are topping the list. And if we still lawmakers still don't see that is a cause for concern and still just going through the motions, go to court, sentences handed down, next. If the judges and whoever else are just proceeding and going through the motions, and we can't get people to come together and say, okay, we are seriously concerned about the amount of sexual offenses cases before us. We need to have some changes. Here are recommendations. How can we fix this? How can we get it right? Let's clamor more for the sexual offenses registry, sex offenders registry. Nothing, not a zilch. It's not me, it's not my children. We're good over here. So this is my job. Let's do it and just keep it moving. We are failing our children big time. You know, sometimes as much as you hate places in the Middle East and how brutal they are, something wanted that, if you notice, if you go to do, and I did a search, sexual offenses are minimal. They could be terrorists, they could be whatever. But you see, when it comes to things like sexual offenses, I was reading a story, I think it was in India, where the woman who was raped was given the knife to cut out the offender's penis in a square surrounded by people in the public, to cut it off, and left to bleed to death. Might sound brutal, but imagine a 14-year-old fighting for her life. And at no point in time, this man said, you know what? I can't go through this. Let me stop. She's still gasping for breath. Let me rush her to the hospital. But he made sure the deed was done. And you're going to say to me, you're going to go through the system and we're going to send you up. Because life up there ain't bad, you know. I went there like 2 times. And it's not bad up there at all. They have clean, fresh air, the most beautiful view in the entire state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, perched upon that hill, miles and miles of ocean, fresh vegetables, fresh bread, pork, beef, goat, whatever, fresh meat, organic fed. I never see somebody come out from prison looking miserable and see trouble. You know, they always come out looking rosy. And how many of you remember Baku? A guy from Granville. Every Christmas, when you ask him, why are you always going up? And then he's saying, you know, the food does be nice and you don't have to worry about what he's eating. So you do all sort of petty crimes to go back up. I've never seen somebody come out of prison looking miserable and stressed. They look good. Some of them even put on weight. So they're living the good life on top of the hill in the most scenic spot. Prisoners should be in some bush somewhere where they don't see nothing except just bush. If they look left, they look right, bush. When you do things like that, especially like there should be different levels. They are petty crimes, yeah. Maybe stealing, you're on a scuffle, you know, the petty crimes, whatever. But when it comes to like manslaughter and all those things, you're not supposed to be living no good life. You should, once a week, you should probably see sunlight. You should be locked and pushed in some hole somewhere. You should be pushed in some hole somewhere where only thing you see is darkness, no light, and you're left alone in that hole with your thoughts only. Gerard, why not with you? You're here, I'm alive. You come in here with you and whoever on speaker. Better yourself. Yeah. So I'd be amazed anytime I visited how efficiently. I gotta go. How efficiently they seem to function up there. Everyone doing their own little thing, working on vehicles, some in the garden, some in the library. I'm telling you, anybody who commits a crime like murder, you should be thrown into a hole. They take you out once a week to see some sunlight, and you're left in there with your thoughts. Your thoughts only beating you left, right, and center. You don't speak to nobody. You're not let out, but locked up by yourself to think about what you've done. The laws in Grenada have to change. I'm seeing the folks in Trinidad, they're protesting against a particular brand for raising the prices of a particular item. And things like this happen, and we just talk, and then we go our merry way. But we always just take things as they come. Whatever is dished out, we just accept it. We are the most, I don't know, we accept anything. And we just move on. So tomorrow we move on like normal. Where's the organization of women? Where's Gino? Where are all the other organizations? How come we have not started making noise and marching and doing all these things, raising placards and doing motorcades and what have you, and camping out in front when there's parliament out there with placards asking for lobbying for changes? We out here making noise for all kind of stupidness, all kind of people business, who taking who doing, and the things that are important to us, it gets pushed to the side. Some stupid talk come up, we're all over it. But when things of importance like this, we speak for 2 seconds, and when we ask, okay, let's do this, everybody, yeah, count me in. But it's hot, and then when you look around, you're the only one, and then you look like you're the troublemaker. When are we going to stand for something here that makes sense? We stand for every nonsense there is. We make a whole set of table the other day for Prime Minister wearing Gucci slippers and white outfit. Days speaking about a man, what he's wearing on his feet. So all the nonsense is what we give our attention and energy to. Something like this is what we should be talking about for the rest of the year, and making sure something is done about our laws. That is what we need to be doing. Before I leave, Nicole says, thank you for the program. We need to keep talking about it as a society, because it's obvious a lot of parents are not doing what they need to do to educate their children and protect their children. All adults should take on the responsibility to teach and protect our children. This is sad that our innocent children can't be allowed to grow up and be safe around adults. 14 years old. Remember her name. 14 years of age. Didn't even get a chance. Esther Patterson didn't even get a chance at life at 14 years old. All her dreams, all her aspirations, didn't get to have her own children, didn't get to travel the world, not a zilch. And just like Ariobola, we're going to be upset for a couple of days, and then we move. Lord, protect our girl children and our boy children. Church? Who church? Now we're going to hear about the church in Gino when we start putting out costumes for Carnival and talking about skimpy and decency and what have you. You're going to hear them then. But all for now, as per usual, mute. But wait for it in the next couple of weeks when you start seeing costumes and bands and what have you. Wait for it. We conveniently speak on things. Oh my gosh, look at the time. Y'all, I gotta go. Y'all couldn't stop me and tell me look at my time? We'll continue this tomorrow, all right? Thanks so much, everybody, for checking in. I am drained. Thanks, Beacon Insurance and Western Union, for making it possible.